Hey guys, this is Josh with Remedy Metal. This video is a demonstration on how we assemble the PAK-D darts, how we attach the foam to the tips. This is just the method that we use. It ends up with a really strong bond between the rubber and the foam. If there's a better method out there, an easier one, we'd love to hear it, but this is what we're using in-house, and it results in really durable darts. So first off, the supplies you're going to need. Obviously you're going to need some foam, and you're going to need some tips. I do recommend these tips when you get them to go ahead and clean them with some dish soap or something like that. Sometimes there's an agent on here called mold release that helps these rubber pieces come out of the mold when they're fabricated, and if there's any on there, it might hinder your glue attaching just a little bit, so go ahead and clean those up before you get started. Super glue. You're going to need this because it attaches to the rubber really well. This is professional grade super glue by Loctite. I know there's other brands that make this. Whatever you can get your hands on, but you want something that's really kind of thin. You can see how thin that is, and that adheres to the rubber really well. Next glue is your contact cement. This gets a hold of the foam really well, and this just happens to be DAP. This can was like $6 or $7 at Walmart and should last a nice long time. You're gonna need a razor blade. This one's mine. Get some Q-tips, and you probably should get like a little cap or something for your contact cement. You're not gonna use a whole lot of it, and these two work really well together to keep it under control and not get a big mess. You might want to have a little wet rag laying around, something like that. Then last things for cutting the foam is this is going to be our fixture. This is one that I fabricated for use in-house in cutting the darts, the blanks that we sell and the prefabricated ones. I need something that was really consistent as far as length goes and would give me really straight cuts. There's a pair of metal plates, and there's just enough room in between the two of them for a razor blade to slide, so that ensures that all my planes are square and we end up with really consistent darts. So since we're on that, we'll go ahead and get started. I'm going to cut up a couple darts real quick. Anytime I'm dealing with a new chunk of foam, I always like to go ahead and square off the end, just so I know that I'm working with a fresh end. These are really clean cuts here. Alright. So I got my spacer in here for making the slugs or our Steffens. So let's see if I can get this in focus. Just drops between my two plates. Pop it out. Put it in my holder. Anytime you're assembling darts, you guys know, man, it's really nice to have something to stand them up into. That's just something I threw together. Let's cut one more out of it. Alright, one more. Alright, so there's my 3 blanks. This foam, we do straighten it in-house before we send it out. We get it from PAK on spools and sometimes in chunks, and we do, to an extent, straighten it out. But, you know, going through the post and whatever, it might get a little bit of a bend to it, so you can either try straightening it before you cut up your darts or after. Obviously, if you're using some just straight edge to cut your darts, you're going to want to straighten it beforehand, because if you cut it on a straight edge with it bent like that, after you do straighten it, when it's in its dart form, you're going to have unsquare cuts. So, but like I said, we do kind of straighten this before it goes out, so it shouldn't be too terribly hard to get it there. But this piece was pretty straight when I started, so I don't need to do anything to those darts. So we can go ahead and move into the next step. Q-tip, contact cement. Now you don't need a lot of it on there, just enough that you're going to be able to, you know, get a nice coat on the foam. This really isn't just going onto like the surface of this. You really want to press it in so that it gets into all the open pores that you made on the top from cutting it and the ones that naturally appear inside. So when you get it inside, really rub it around really good. Let me get this a little more. Q-tip kind of sucked it all up. But get it inside. And then on the top, what I like to do is get a glaze. I rub it in good. But I'm not trying to run it over the edges, just trying to see if I can get focus. When you're in person doing this, you'll see that it gets a gloss when it's completely covered. So Okay, and that's it. That one's done. I'm gonna grab the next one. That's pretty good. Alright, one more. And I do these in batches because you really need to give that contact cement a little bit of time to dry before you go sticking the tip on it. You're not using the contact cement to adhere to the rubber. You're using the contact cement to adhere to the foam, and the super glue attaches to the contact cement really well. I really don't know anything strong enough that can handle doing the foam and doing the rubber, so the two parts really the best answer at the moment. Get a little bit more on there. Okay, that looks pretty good. Okay, so we got 3 with the contact cement on them, and that one's gotten a few minutes to set. We can go ahead and start on the tips. Get your super glue, and again, these have already been kind of washed up. Get the camera focus on. There we go. So we're gonna get a little bit across create a little bead on the top, and then swish it around the stem, and you want to make sure you get this lip pretty good. Get it all nice and shiny. You don't need a lot, but you need all the surfaces to be covered up pretty good. Grab your blank, stick it in and spin, and hold it. I like to hold it for about 5 seconds. Go on to the next one. Again, making sure you're getting that top lip. It's pretty good. It's blank. And then spin. And then hold it for a second. Put those down. Alright, last one. Tip. A little bit. It's pretty good. A little bit of an excess in there. It's alright. And we're holding it. Okay. So that's 3 darts that we assembled. Putting the contact cement and stuff around the top of it and making sure you get that upper lip right there ensures that whenever the dart head encounters something, that it doesn't pull it away from that. That's where all your troubles are going to start. Like this one, I just put super glue around the stem of it and see how I can pull the head up. Inevitably and eventually that's going to pull off, and see how it didn't really take any foam with it, how it's just super glue there. Now this one, done this process, pull this head off, and it ripped the whole thing. That means that the bond between the glue and the foam is stronger than the internal bond of the foam. That's ideal. So this method, using the contact cement and the super glue, you end up with pretty strong darts. This is one that we just did. I like to give them, you know, a good couple hours to fully cure before I put them into service, but I have put these together like this before, and then 10 minutes later started using them, and I've never had a problem with this method. So that's how we do it. Obviously you can get all the foam and the tips from remedymetal.com. as well as the Stefan clips to hold these, the Bob clips. Really awesome performance with these on a blaster that can accept Stefans. And the full length darts, the regular length, full length darts perform really well in stock Elite blasters. I'm really impressed. But anyways, if you want any of this foam, the tips, or if you want us to assemble them for you, all that stuff's available at remedymetal.com. We do have a coupon code available right now. The coupon code is PAK-D. All one word, I'll put it right here. And that's good for 10% off the PAK-D stuff. His clips, his tips, pre-cut blanks, pre-assembled darts, all that good stuff. So visit remedymetal.com, and we'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.